Let's get right into it. Every generation thinks the worst is behind us, but history is packed with disasters so deadly and bizarre they seem like fiction until you realize many of them could happen all over again. From killer clouds to silent pandemics, these forgotten catastrophes have lessons that matter right now, whether we remember them or not. Number 7. The 1900 Galveston Hurricane, America's Lost City? On the 8th of September, 1900, the bustling port city of Galveston, Texas, was wiped off the map overnight. People had no radar, no warning systems, just rumors of a coming storm and rising winds. By nightfall, a wall of water hit the city, flattening buildings, tossing ships inland, and leaving a trail of destruction. More than 8,000 people died, still the highest death toll for any natural disaster in U.S. history. Entire neighborhoods vanished, and survivors had to burn bodies in huge pyres just to stop the spread of disease. If you live near the coast, it's worth checking your disaster plan because sometimes the biggest risks are the ones we've already seen. Number 6. The Banqiao Dam Collapse, when engineering goes wrong. In August 1975, a typhoon brought torrential rains to China's Henan province, swelling rivers beyond their limits. The Banqiao Dam, a marvel of engineering, should have been safe, but design flaws and ignored warnings spelled doom. When the dam burst, a wall of water swept across villages in the dead of night, erasing everything in its path. The true death toll? At least 170,000, though official figures were suppressed for decades. For weeks after, survivors faced disease, famine, and ruined lives. If you're ever tempted to ignore small warnings or cut corners on safety, remember what we build for convenience can become our biggest hazard. Number 5. The Great Smog of London, Death by Air. London is famous for its fog, but in December 1952, the city got more than it bargained for. A cold snap, combined with coal-burning homes and factories, blanketed the city in a thick, yellow-green smog. People stumbled through darkness at noon, cars crashed, and hospitals overflowed. In just 5 days, over 12,000 people died, many from respiratory failure. The smog seeped into homes and lingered for weeks, showing just how lethal, invisible pollution can be. It took decades and the Clean Air Act to make London's air breathable again. So the next time you take a deep breath, remember how easy it is to forget what you can't see. Number 4. The eruption of Mount Tambora, the year without a summer. Imagine a volcano so powerful it changes the weather across the entire planet. That's what happened in 1815 when Mount Tambora erupted in Indonesia. The blast was the most powerful in recorded history, heard over 1,000 miles away. The eruption spewed ash and sulfur into the sky, blocking sunlight and dropping global temperatures. Crops failed from China to Europe, leading to mass famine. Snow fell in June in New England. The year without a summer gave us not just global suffering, but also Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, written during those cold, dark months. Societies buckled under food shortages, and riots broke out in the streets. The ash in the sky painted sunsets red for years. It's easy to forget that a single eruption, halfway across the world, can upend economies, art, and the very rhythm of life for millions. And scientists warn, there are still volcanoes with the power to do it again. The lesson of Tambora is that disasters aren't always local. Sometimes they reshape the whole planet, and the next one might not give us any more warning. Whenever you enjoy a stable season or a reliable harvest, remember that nature's mood swings can change everything in an instant. Number 3. The Dust Bowl, America's man-made apocalypse. In the 1932nd, the American Midwest turned to dust. It wasn't fire or flood, but a slow-motion disaster caused by overplowing, drought, and relentless winds. Huge black blizzards of dust swept across the plains, burying homes and choking cattle. People stuffed wet rags under doors and windows, but the dust found its way in. Thousands lost their farms, and millions fled to cities, reshaping the American landscape and economy. It's a powerful lesson in how our actions, mixed with a little bad luck, can make even the most fertile land unlivable. When you see news about climate or farming practices, remember, sometimes the biggest changes start with tiny choices that add up. Number 2. The Spanish flu pandemic, the forgotten plague? In 1918, a new strain of influenza swept across the globe in the wake of World War I. Unlike most flus, it hit healthy young adults the hardest, sending them to the hospital with fevers and turning lungs to liquid. Cities tried to fight it with masks, quarantines, and public warnings, but the virus moved faster than the news. Up to 1/3 of the planet caught the Spanish flu, and estimates say it killed between 20 and 50 million people. Some even put the toll higher. Towns ran out of coffins, families were wiped out in days, and mass graves became a common sight. The world moved on quickly, maybe too quickly. After the war, societies craved hope and normalcy, so the Spanish flu was pushed to the background. For decades, history textbooks barely mentioned it. But the virus left deep marks on public health, medicine, and the way we respond to pandemics. In 2020, as COVID-19 circled the globe, the old lessons felt shockingly fresh about misinformation, denial, and the need for coordinated responses. If anything, the Spanish flu teaches us that the next big pandemic could be just around the corner, and forgetting the past is the most dangerous thing we can do. So, the next time you wash your hands or cover a cough, remember that little habits can save lives in ways you may never see. Number 1. The Lake Nyos Limnic eruption death from below. Picture a quiet lake in Cameroon, surrounded by villages. On the night of the 21st of August, 1986, Lake Nyos became a silent killer. Without warning, a massive bubble of carbon dioxide gas erupted from the lake's depths, racing across the land like an invisible tsunami. Within minutes, more than 1,700 people and thousands of animals simply fell over where they stood dead from suffocation. No wind, no sound, just a rolling cloud of invisible gas heavier than air. Scientists eventually learned that volcanic activity beneath the lake caused CO2 to build up at the bottom until the pressure released all at once. The disaster was so unprecedented, it took international experts to figure it out. Today, special degassing pipes help vent the lake safely, but there are other lakes in Africa and elsewhere with the same deadly potential. The Lake Nyos tragedy isn't just a freak event. It's a wake-up call that the Earth itself can surprise us with dangers no one ever imagined. When you're out in nature, take a moment to appreciate the beauty and remember, it's always worth knowing the risks that don't make the headlines. We remember the big disasters, but the forgotten ones have the sneakiest lessons. If you want more stories like these, plus the tools to see what's really happening behind the headlines, go ahead and subscribe. There's a world of hidden history, and the next disaster might just be a memory waiting to repeat itself. Stay curious, stay prepared, and let the past help you shape a safer future.